looking at it from a hormonal point of view and a fat loss point of view makes sense, but it also ends up applying like from an injury and pain point of view. Usually overnight is when healing ends up happening.
Yeah.
And if that sleep is disruptive, you don't have good sleep, you go to bed like poorly, you have poor sleep, you're not
Right.
getting deep sleep, it ends up affecting your recovery when it comes to injury and pain.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, oftentimes when we think about being healthy, having balanced hormones and our overall well-being, we just oftentimes think about like the exercise part and the food part. We really don't think about the sleep part and how
Yeah.
much it has an impact on our health. So it's, we rise with the sun and we fall, or also rise with the moon. But we're supposed to rise up in the morning with the sun, and at nighttime when the moon is out, that's when we fall asleep. There's this circadian rhythm that we want to be in balance with. And I know sometimes it can be difficult to get outside and get sunshine every single day, but that is actually so essential to helping you sleep. And I know that sounds crazy, like what does the sun have to do with me sleeping? But it actually is completely connected. Getting in that sunshine can actually stimulates your pineal gland, and that's what actually resets the circadian rhythm in your body so that you can have better quality sleep at night. So that's really important. So people who often work in like offices with fluorescent light, more often than not, they have more issues falling asleep because they're not getting enough sun.
Oh. And then also with the sun thing, it's not, as I would say, it's not like going outside in the sun dressed up as a ninja and not one piece of skin is exposed. Like
Right.
the sun actually needs to penetrate your skin and get
Absolutely.
to your skin. You're not wearing like long pants and shoes and
Right.
long shirt and a hat and like absolutely no skin is exposed to the sun. The sun
Right.
actually needs to get to your skin.
Absolutely. And I mean, in Canadian winters,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
always the
Yeah.
easiest thing to do,
Hmm.
but especially now, it is summertime here, so you have to expose your skin, expose your arms, your chest, your face. The more that you can expose to the sun, the better. And that's what's actually going to allow you to absorb that really beneficial vitamin D as well. And vitamin D actually functions more of a hormone than it does a vitamin. So that's really important too. Vitamin D actually helps us manage our insulin levels. So don't be afraid of the sun. We're always slathering up on sunscreens, which are also loaded with a lot of toxins. And those toxins have to get detoxified by the liver, and your liver, it metabolizes your hormones. So it's this whole cycle. You've got a lot of toxins coming in from these products that you're putting on your body. It's got to go through the liver to get filtered out. And if your liver is loaded with these toxins and it can't filter them effectively, that's going to affect your hormones too. So it's not just about the food that we eat or the exercise we do or the sleep. Think about these other areas in your life too, like the makeup, the body care, the dental products, the deodorant, the sunscreens. And I know it's really overwhelming, but when you know better, you do better, right? You got to start somewhere.
Awesome. Awesome. So, very much like what you were saying, that probably the number one reason why people come see you ends up relating to, fat loss, or they have excess weight and they want to lose it. So, losing weight. So, looking at, and, men, it would be, you probably mainly work with women, but I don't see why this wouldn't apply to men either. But, what would, balancing out the hormones through food, like, what is the link between that? Now, you talked about the importance of taking time for yourself, the importance of having boundaries, getting sleep. You also talked about, animal products, trying to make sure that they're, hormonal free. What would be, what are some other things when it comes to that delicious food and balancing things out?
So there's a few hacks
Hmm.
when it comes to your food. And one of the main things that I do with my clients in terms of fat loss and supporting the hormones, because really you got to support the hormones to support fat loss. What I do is I take out the snacking. So my clients are not allowed to snack. They have breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and their meals are spaced 5 hours apart. And the reason we do that is because the more we eat throughout the day, and if we're grazing, we're snacking, we just constantly are eating. I know so many people are eating like 5, 6, 7 mini meals all day long. Then what we do is we're producing more insulin. So we want to manage how much insulin we produce. So eat breakfast, eat lunch, eat dinner, space it out 5 hours apart. And not only during those 5 hours will you actually burn through glycogen, stored sugar, but you will actually burn through adipose tissue, which is fat. So that 5 hours is really the sweet spot. Because I used to come from this model of like, I got to eat every 2 to 3 hours, and I've always got to be eating. I mean, not only are you not giving your body the opportunity to actually digest food, but you're stimulating insulin more and more and more throughout the day. So, I used to leave the house and go run errands, and I was just hungry all the time. I had to pack my whole kitchen with me because I always needed to eat. Whereas now it's like, okay, I can eat my breakfast and I can leave the house and I can be out for 5, 6 hours and I'm fine, and I drink my water and I feel stable. I don't have this panic and this anxiety around constantly needing to eat food. So that is one of the biggest health hacks for supporting your insulin levels, because your insulin, it is a fat storing hormone. If you're overproducing it, oftentimes it will cause you to gain more weight.
I mean,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Now, something that I was reading, on your blog, you talked about like botanical protocols. So maybe you can kind of talk about, healing the body and how it relates to botanical protocols.
Sure. So I use a lot of like botanicals and herbs and homeopathics and things like that in my practice. So with my clients, we run blood work, we get them on a customized meal plan, and then of course I look at putting them on a strategic supplement protocol. So I don't want to overwhelm people with supplements, but they definitely do serve a role. So for example, 2 of my favorites, and these are really essential for managing stress, which is really great. I love rhodiola, and rhodiola, it's a little bit energizing. So I often will have clients take it during the day. And it's this like beautiful plant, and it basically helps to support the adrenal glands, which are, your stress glands. And so it's like food for the adrenals, basically. So that's a really great herb that you can take it during the morning, maybe with your breakfast. And then the other one I love is ashwagandha. So it's an Ayurvedic herb, and I know it's got a really funny name, but ashwagandha is also really good at like food for the adrenal glands, and it's great for stress, for anxiety, for really calming down your system, and I love to take that one in the evening time. And for men, ashwagandha can help with testosterone production. Yes.
Okay.
Good.
Good. So it ends up being part of the plan. Like when you see a client, you're looking at like lifestyle changes, dietary changes, but then you also kind of look at this supplemental changes or like the botanical products that you recommend, botanical protocols.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, they definitely serve a role, and I'll test my clients like vitamin D levels, and depending where their level's at, I'll put them on vitamin D as well. Probiotics are often something that I recommend as well. Fish oil, a really good high quality fish oil supplement. Your fish oil, those are your good omega-3s, and you need that good omega-3, that healthy fat, to actually help produce your hormones. So fat is really essential to hormonal health.
Awesome. Well, we've kind of gone through all of my questions. We kind of, we talked about your journey. We talked about, signs and symptoms when it comes to hormonal imbalances, different types of hacks that people can do in order to balance out their hormones. And we've talked about what you can end up doing with stress, supplements that you kind of recommend. Now, is there anything that I didn't ask you, or is there anything that you want to leave people with?
Ooh, that's a good question. There's this study that constantly pops up in my head that was done on 2,400 working adults. And they took half of them and put them on a diet and exercise program, and the other half on just a strictly stress management program without addressing diet and exercise. And the stress management group lost 3 times more weight than the diet and exercise group alone. And I mean, that's pretty significant. And, it does come down to stress as being one of the biggest indicators as to why, we can't lose weight and why our hormones are so out of whack. So I think it's really important that, of course, being a nutritionist, food is so important to me. But if you are eating a salad and you're pissed off and you're stressed and you're rushing through it and you're just not enjoying it, that's going to have it's not going to have a positive impact on your health and your weight loss. So manage your stress effectively first and foremost, because I can promise you that's going to have the biggest impact on your health.
Okay. And then maybe before we wrap, maybe we talk about one more thing. So it kind of relates to what you were saying. Like, so what kind of state or thought process should people be in when it comes to eating? So you're talking about eating these delicious things and healthy things that are being helpful for you, but like, what state of mind or setting should they be in order to get the most out of it?
Yeah, that's a good question. We shouldn't be rushing through our food and through our meals. Take the time to actually sit down and chew your food, chew it slowly. Don't be eating your meals in front of the TV with all these distractions. And even especially at work, oftentimes I will have clients say to me like, oh, I couldn't fit in my lunch today because I had so much going on at work, and it's like, no. You have to make that a priority. You have to take time out, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever it is, out of your day. If you're at work for lunch, you really have to make that a priority and set aside time to eat. That's a way to really nurture your body. That's part of your overall well-being. So don't rush through your meals. Really be grateful for the food that's in front of you, especially like I love to go out and support local farmers and like really connect with the farmers. And I'm lucky that I live across the street from a Whole Foods, and I know everyone that works in that store except the people in the bakery department. So it's great to just connect with like, the meat guys, the department, the butchers that are there, and they know me so well now, and they'll keep like the bones aside for me for like my soup stocks and stuff like that. And I've just developed a great relationship. And so you end up, when that food shows up on your plate, you just really appreciate it that much more, right? Versus just like grabbing some box off of a shelf and like sticking your hand in it to shove some food down your throat, right? Like there's such a disconnect there. So like really connect with your food and like the variety that we have available to us. There's such an abundant amount of fruits and vegetables that we can choose from, and I can guarantee that you're probably eating the same like 5 or 6 vegetables over and over and over again, and there's like thousands of varieties. So like really expand your repertoire of recipes and ingredients, because there's so much variety and goodness out there, and just really start to appreciate how this food is literally fuel for your body.
Awesome. That's an excellent way to finish. Now, Samantha, where can people get more information about you?
Yeah, so they can head on over to my site at holisticwellness.ca. And I've got lots of great information there, lots of great recipes that are there. And if anyone is interested in even diving deeper into more hormonal health or weight loss, they can connect with me through my contact form on my site. And I've got a really great detox program that is free. It's a nice kickstart, a great way to sort of kickstart weight loss and support your hormones, and it's absolutely free. And you can download that at holisticwellness.ca/10-day detox. So number 10-day detox.
Awesome. So thank you very much. Thank you very much, Samantha. And make sure to swing by her site. Her site is amazing. She's got tons of recipes, tons of beautiful pictures, as I commented before, and lots of great information. So make sure to swing by her site and see what she has to offer. So thank you very much for your time, Samantha.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
No worries. And thank you everyone at exercisesforinjuries.com. I hope you enjoyed the interview. Please do make sure to swing by exercisesforinjuries.com. You can contact me there and let me know if there's someone else that you think I should interview or if there's a topic that you want me to cover. Also, while you're at exercisesforinjuries.com, make sure to enter in your injury or pain. There's a good chance of an article, video, or an interview that'll help you overcome your injury or pain. So that's it. This is Rick Caselge with Samantha saying take care and bye-bye.
Bye.